It is the greatest of all battles man will fight. It is the cause of all fear and the root to human destruction. What am I talking about? No, it's not North Korea. It's not Donald Trump. What I'm talking about is the unknown. Psychologists agree. Most, if not all, anxiety disorders, including panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, and several other specific phobias, all share a common link. This link is fear of the unknown. Personally, I've always been sort of scared of meeting new people or making friends. I think this is because I was born and raised in Cary, North Carolina my entire life. I never moved anywhere. I've never been forced to have to make new friends or join a new friend group. I've never been forced to start fresh. The prospect of having to go to an out-of-state college has begun to kind of frighten me. But, as usual, I pushed that fear to the back of my mind. Last spring break, I visited the aforementioned college that my sister currently is attending in her second year, and she gave me the grand tour. I met all of her friends, and I sat in on a few of her classes, asking her questions all along the way. Questions about life, questions about her classes, and questions about what she does in her free time. One of these concerns I raised about her free time was about what she did if she couldn't find a friend or somebody to be with in the short gap between classes that she called lunch. So I asked, what do you do if you don't have anybody to sit with? And her answer was simple, but it startled me. I didn't think about it. She told me that when she is alone for lunch, she'd find somebody else and sit with them. This confused my high school Green Hope mind. I've seen plenty of people sitting alone at lunch, but I just tended to ignore it. I've always had a friend group to sit with, and couldn't exactly relate to having to sit alone. I like to think that the reason I never decided to go and strike up a conversation or make a new friend with them was because I just always had something to do. Somebody to meet up with, or somewhere to go, maybe a tutorial. But that actually wasn't the case at all. The true reason I was too afraid to talk to these people, the true reason we're all afraid to, is because we're scared. We're scared of the rejection or being judged by these people, even though they want somebody to talk to. It's the unknown of what could happen that kept me from looking at the positives. I would have a new friend, a new person to talk to, a new connection. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, said Wayne Gretzky. Everybody knows that quote. Hockey. I used this advice to take the initiative, to take a shot at meeting somebody new. I decided that with the help of an incentive, this assignment, I'd face this fear head on, and every day for 4 days, I would sit with a person at lunch who was sitting alone and strike up a conversation. To be clear, my main goal was to make a new friend, not to just gather data for some class assignment. And in the end, I feel like I made a friend. At the end of each conversation with the new person, I've confirmed that they were my friend by asking if I could have their Snapchat. Casual stuff. There were a few bumps. I didn't meet my goal of 4 separate people. I only actually got around to meeting one. I didn't meet my goal mainly because it was show week and we had to do a bunch of stuff during lunch because we fell really behind, especially today's show night. And I only had one free lunch period where I could go. But I found somebody who I thought would be, an easy person to have a conversation with. I didn't exactly know how to approach a person who didn't know me. I was again afraid of the unknown. What if they just had shooed me off or tell me they were too busy to talk? I pushed that unknown to the back of my mind as I approached the first person. For the purpose of anonymity, sorry, don't speak English. I'll call the first person Bicycle. Bicycle was easier than I thought because we had a class together my sophomore year. In this class, it was pretty adventurous. Our teacher got fired within the second week, and the CE department couldn't fill in the gap for that person, so we had substitutes coming in and out every other day. So we talked about that. And then we talked about philosophy, political stuff, what he likes to do, video games, stuff of that sort. We talked for the entire lunch period, and when the final bell rang, I didn't want to leave. I got Bicycle Snapchat, and we still talk today. I officially fought my fear head on and made a new friend, and I'm glad I did it. Facing your fears are part of growing up, and until you can confront them head on, those fears will remain. Many fears that stem from the unknown are unfounded and come from an evolutionary need to hide from unknown threats, like the rustling coming from the branches, or the roar of a thunderstorm. Now, in our safe modern world, where we have houses to protect us from storms, where we have flashlights to reveal the dark, we still hold on to this evolutionary non-necessity that causes more harm than good. I ask all of you today, well, tomorrow, because it's third period, to make a new friend at lunch. It's easier than you think. You might not need to prove something to yourself, but it'll brighten somebody else's day.